Chase Tree and Tractor Service with 25 years of experience in tree removal. Serving the Midcoast of Maine, licensed and insured Maine arborist. Whether it's a pesky blowdown or a hard-to-get tree that needs removal. When you need an experienced professional, Jake Chase is the man for the job. Call 207-242-8961 or email him at chasetreeandtractorservice.jc@gmail.com.
LCTV is your nonprofit community media station. Please donate at lctv.org to keep us strong. Thank you.
One, two, three, four. Well, I've been rolling in since the clock came Monday morning. From the end of the week, I'm about to blow. Breeze walking through the honky tonk like a pack of wolves now. Order up around the shops and it's away we go.
Hello everyone, it's Wuzzup time, your favorite time of the week. I'm Larry Sidelinger, your host for today's show. Bobby's on vacation, but we have a special secret guest up from the point down in Booth Bay, Miss Sarah Morley, and she is the operations director and advertising guru at the Booth Bay Register. Sarah, welcome to one. I know you've been excited since I asked you to do this like 24 hours ago, yes. And I know you've studied the paper, and you could probably tell us everything. We could probably throw the paper away and you tell us everything about it.
I'm so excited. I'm going to make sure that Bobby doesn't get sick or have appointments ever again. But yes, thank you for having me.
So we've got it right off the start. Before we even get in the paper, we're going to get to the editorial page. We're not going to do the front page first. We're going to talk about the editorial because I made a grave error, slip of the tongue last week, and called Bayville Baileyville, not to be confused with Down East Baileyville.
Yes.
But our man Kevin corrected me on that.
He did.
After I corrected him, it was up with a U, not an A.
He misspelled, and he got back at you in his editorial this week, and I thought that was quite comical.
I must admit, I did chuckle as I was studying the paper hot off the presses yesterday afternoon, so I would be ready, which I probably can't remember half of what I read, but that goes with these gray hairs that I've earned, every one of them. But that was a good edit. He caught that pretty good.
He did, and I thought it was comical, too. It was one of the first things I thought. I go, see, Larry called out our editor, and he's going to call him out.
So he's retaliated. So I guess the next volley is mine, huh?
Yes, it is. Yep. You could have a little go back and forth for the next
5 years or something.
Right.
You know, we try to get our money.
We could have fun with it. It could be like, where's Waldo in the paper? Yeah. Where can you guys get back at each other? Well,
we always try to have fun on this show. So at the end of 27 minutes, you're going to say, well, I had a pretty good time.
I'm all about fun.
Well, they're all about fun. And it was really, I'm going to tell the folks home a little bit about Sarah, because we met here a couple of weeks ago, and in full disclosure, I met this guy when we did the Lobster Clawdown and the Fishing for Fashion show down at Booth Bay here back in June. His name was Andrew Morley. So I said, are you in a relation? And she said, yeah, we've been married like a lifetime and a half. But he's gone 2 weeks of the year, so it makes a great relationship.
No, he's gone every other week. So
every other week.
6 months of the year I don't see him, so it's only like half the time. We'll be married forever.
So forever is going to be at least half the time.
Exactly.
It's good stuff.
Great.
All right, we got to get to the paper here.
All
so
right.
What is going on down in Booth Bay? Looks like there's a little bit of controversy over this $89 million building project they're talking about. Can you give us a little insight on that?
There's a lot of controversy, actually, and it just comes down to money.
Almost $100 million is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
For a community of, what, 5,000 people?
It is, and I see both sides. You know, I get it because I pay taxes, and nobody wants their taxes to skyrocket. But also putting 40-something million into a school, you know, just to fix it. I also see where they're coming from to just do it right the first time, and hopefully, I have seen. I've seen lots of families. They do look to what the schools are like and bring them to the area.
Just had somebody in here today that came because of the school system.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to have them talk about that. But at the end of the day, what you can build for $90 million, $89 million today, in 5 years from now will be $110 million.
110, right.
And so if you put $40 million into the school, does that mean in 10 years you're going to still wind up building a new school? Is that kind of the...
That really seems to be the question, you know. What's that $40 million fix going to do? Is it going to hold over for 10, 15 years, and then now you have to pay $150 million?
How old is Boothbay Region High School?
Gosh, the high school is newer than the
grade school?
Than the grade school.
Does it date back to the 60s? The 50s and 60s?
I think it does.
Which is not really that old for a building.
No.
But you had that severe water damage down there last year.
Right.
Does that have any part of this? I think
it has a lot to do with it.
It does.
I think there was a lot of stuff that needed to be done that was getting, you know, just picked away at being fixed, and then that storm was just kind of the icing on the cake. You know, I don't know a lot about it. I have friends on both sides, and
you have to walk a fine line being in the newspaper business.
I do, and I always try to listen to both sides. And
that's a fair way of doing it.
You know, be educated, but I think it's going to be a huge controversy. I do like that they're going to put it. They've been very active. The school board's been really active. I'm sure you've been reading about it. That they're trying to get people to come to the school board meetings and go online.
That's what our democracy is all about. Is
right. Read about
sides.
it, because what happens in a small town is, you know, they read a headline or they hear something out and about at the coffee shop. And it might not, you know, they might not have the whole truth, so they're just really encouraging people to come make your own educated decision. Well, and I think they're going to put it on the...
Maybe what you ought to do in the paper is put it on where you can really find the accuracies in Facebook. I'm thinking Facebook will have the exact complete story, whole story.
Facebook's got all kinds of information.
If it's on Facebook, it's got to be true, right?
Exactly.
All right, so talk to me about this housing trust. They got $21,000. Is that to study the housing, or is that going to be applied towards housing? How that?
They already have property. I should know the answer to this. They've got approval to build, I think, maybe 10 or 12 houses, but they have grants and funds to offset the cost, bringing them down to, I think they're going to be just under 300,000, but they would be houses that would normally be well over 300,000. The grant money.
So it's close to affordable housing.
Yeah, and the thing is you know, we built a house 5 years ago. That, I know that's a scary thing, but that is affordable in today's world.
We did too. My wife and I did too 6 years ago. And we had a little bit more than that in it, but not a heck of a lot more. And we're living in it now and making it work.
Yeah, we have a good friend of ours did all of our materials and called us like six or 7 months after we built the house and said, if you built right now,
it's $400 a square foot.
It would be 3 times as much just in material for your house.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast it went up.
Yeah, so it kind of goes back to the school. I mean, things go up and up and up, and they sound ridiculous and they sound crazy, and you know, I've turned into my mother because I'm constantly saying, well, I paid that much for my first mortgage, you know, and that's what people are paying for cars. Yeah. But I think that's the scary part, is how much you're going to spend now. How much you're going to spend in 10 years if you don't get it done properly.
Exactly. So who is this gal here on the front page that...
With the blow-up Santa?
Yeah. Who's this gal here? Do you know her?
I do not, but I have to say that...
Sounds like that was a pretty successful event. This is for the American Legion.
I always go back to a story. Andy Rooney had us on 60 Minutes. He had the Boothbay Register, and he pointed out the fact that our front page had raccoons. I think I talked to you about this when we had our meeting.
You did.
And when I picked this paper up, I thought this is right up there. We've got blow-up Santas.
You could be on it. Well, Randy Rooney, God bless him, has passed, but there could be, you're on Wuzzup now talking
That's
about
right,
it. And,
right.
you know, we're on the
Blow-up
web, so
Santas.
we're worldwide. You
Right,
know. Even
okay.
Andy didn't get worldwide, you know.
No.
They're going to have a railroad service out of Wiscasset to Rockland. That would be cool.
Yeah, I had a nice
I've always
conversation
wanted-
with George.
I've always wanted to do that, take that rail from like Rockland. I finally, here a couple of years ago, did take the rail from Portland to Boston to see a Celtics game, but I've never done the coastline here, and I've been all over, of course, in the trucking business, been all over the state of Maine, every which way you can go, but I always wanted to take a rail, just kind of like to get the backwoods view.
I've heard
of it.
it's a beautiful ride. We just saw it when we pulled in, the train went by.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have our own very own train whistle here in the studio here.
Oh, you do?
Oh, we do. We have our intern Vanessa who can duplicate a train whistle. It's so funny. When the train goes by, she goes out and calls back to the train.
Oh, good. We could talk about the East Booth Bay Post Office, though, because
That's other big news.
that's going to, I now have to drive a whole 2 extra miles to Booth Bay Harbor to get my mail.
You don't have mailmen down there?
We can't, I don't know the ruling, but
We have a
there's
thing
something
called
about the
mailboxes
rural.
that we set in the ground, and a little metal box on the top.
We're behind the times in East Booth Bay.
No, Booth Bay is a little bit off the beaten track, maybe.
Well,
But
it has to do with we can't get a mailbox where we are for some reason. The way the rural route is.
Really?
Yeah.
my
I don't
brother's
know.
a mailman. I'm going to have to ask him about that.
Ask, because it's
I'll report
weird.
back the next Wuzzup we do.
Let me know. Let me know. But yeah, no, I guess they got to shut it down and.
But I don't know if it makes sense or not, but you stop and think of how many small, little, tiny post offices. Like in Bristol, there's one in Chamberlain and Round Pond, and I think there's one in New Harbor. And I'm not sure if there's one in Pemmican Harbor or not, but there's for like 5 post offices in one small town of 2,500 people.
Yeah.
Of course, there's probably 10,000 there in the summertime. But
We have all kinds too, but I think East Booth Bay is one of the bigger small ones that we have, just because we have that influx of Ocean Point residents in the summer. So we've.
And did I say Chamberlain? Chamberlain, Maine has their own post office too.
Yeah.
That's where our man behind the camera, Dinah Dave, that's where he gets his mail. So it's, but it is, I'm sure it's expensive, and there are probably efficiencies. But so what else? Southport, they're going to get $3.8 million in fed drinking water funds. That's a pretty good, pretty expensive drink, $3.8 million.
Yeah, and well, they got salt. They have a real issue with salt. Yep, you're on an island, and I guess it's unavoidable.
It's surrounded by salt water.
Yep.
So it must have leaked in.
It's going to leak in. Leaks in, I guess. That's how it works.
All right. We got to go to page 2, folks.
All right.
Do you know this new fella here? This Nick
I do not.
DeGemis, is that how you would say his name?
I would say DeGemis. Yeah.
He's looking at a super opportunity to run the water reclamation facility down there.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun fun article if you read it.
Well, I did read it.
How
He's been all around.
getting into it. Yeah.
This is one of his smaller ones. He's done some big ones. I mean, he was in New Jersey, and but 640,000 gallons a day. That's a lot of That's a lot of water. You can fill a big limp-sized swimming pool. That's a lot of water.
I don't want to fill it without water.
Yeah. Lighting temporarily impacts Booth Bay Region emergency communication. When the lights go out down there, did you pay the light bill?
Well, I don't know that.
Did you know anything about that?
No, lightning. Lightning. I guess we lost communications with
the rest of the world?
Well, the emergency communications. That's a little concerning. We were talking this morning about Maui, because you can't. They lost cell phone towers, so the people couldn't reach out to 911.
Yeah.
You don't think about that stuff.
No, you don't think about that. Well, and they lost a cell phone service and everything else, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they said it was
And this Leslie Blethyn is her husband,
Brian
that works for
Miles, or
Yes.
Lincoln Health. Yes,
and
you
coached
interviewed him.
And coached the girls' basketball team down there.
Yes.
Is he still the coach?
No.
He's not.
No. Who is?
I don't know. I don't know who the girls' coach is down there, but I know he was the girls' coach down there. He had a couple daughters that were pretty good players down there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Leslie's one of my very good friends. And
really?
I can actually add
We can
something
talk
quite,
about her and she won't get mad?
Right. Well, she's already mad because this picture ended up in the paper because it came from me. No, she'll be mad for sure. But just a quick comical, she got this 35-year award, and she was at the house last week, and I thought, well, let's have a toast for 35 years. Good for you, Leslie. And she started laughing and said, it's actually 36 years. And we said, what? And my husband chimed in and said, what, they mail it to you? And she laughed and she said, yes. So a year later, she got the 35-year award. And
well, we said Boothbay was the end of the peninsula, end of the line.
It takes a long time for the mail to get there.
They shouldn't have closed down the East Boothbay.
That's right. It
post
should have come
office.
from East Boothbay, and then she'd have got it on time.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, gosh, she'll kill me.
What is this lecture? You know anything about this Einer and Lewis Heathfits?
I do not.
I don't know anything about them either, so we'll skip over that. Yeah. Yeah, all right, that's about all I can see on page 2 here. So we're on to what, no, we're not quite in the editorial. We're into Wiscasset news.
Oh, I can flip the page.
Yeah, they're talking about that big story there about that train. And I think I'm gonna do that. Maybe Bobby and I'll get that and we'll do Wuzzup. You can join us, we'll take the train to Rockland and do Wuzzup at the same time.
We could go up to the Penn Bay Pilot we talked to you about.
We could and go up there and do a Wuzzup.
Yes.
That would be cool.
Are we allowed to call out the police blotters, or?
Yeah, we can. We can call anything we want. The Wiscasset police blotter.
I wouldn't do that to anybody.
Yeah, no, wow.
Nothing.
And they're going to do a Wiscasset and the WWF Railroad. That is Wiscasset and Whitefield. I don't know what
That's right down the road from here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They're going to do a picnic weekend. I'm going to have to talk to about a guy, Kevin, because I don't see any strawberry festivals or anything like that in here.
We had the strawberry.
You've got a blueberry festival coming up.
Oh, well, we had the strawberry festival information.
Yeah.
That the church, the one in Wiscasset, at the church. Is that one?
Something going on over there. Yeah.
Yep. Susan had that.
Isabel Curtis.
Medical cannabis store.
So tell us about this gal, Isabel Curtis. She's going to be a writer for the Wiscasset newspaper.
She already writes for us. She's fabulous. I've never met her. We've tried to have breakfast several times and just.
Should we bring her up here and talk to her on Wuzzup?
We should.
Yeah.
Because she's lots of compliments on her. She's.
Has she just started with you guys?
She's been there. No, she's written for us for a couple years. She does it in the summer because she's in school.
Is she going to be full-time?
And I don't know what her plan is. I hope so, because we get lots of compliments on her stories, and she's a
well, I'm going to be looking for it now.
Yeah, no, she's very, very good, and I'd love to meet her.
Do you not meet anybody that works for the paper?
Not everybody.
In your little cubby.
Not when they're independent contractors. They come and go. Kevin gets to see them, but
oh, Kevin does.
Yeah. I get left in the dark in my back office.
When we went looking for you down, and we found you in a corner, around the corner, and
that's where they
the
put
door
me.
was shut, and so that's where they keep you.
Yeah, they don't let me out much.
Where's Sarah? Oh, she's the operations director. We keep her in the back room.
We
don't let her see the public.
That's fairly true. When someone comes to the back office, that's usually because somebody's got a complaint.
I like the obituary page. You got the obituaries, and then you got a couple of reverends speaking at the same page. That's pretty cool.
Well, obituary page is sad. I don't know if you,
I didn't
Laura
know Laura.
Honey.
I did not know her. It sounded like she was pretty.
A great lady.
Yeah. I do actually read a lot of these obituaries because I like to see what people's backgrounds and careers were all about. It's always fascinating to me.
It's believe it or not, it's one of the #1 read pages.
No kidding.
Yep. It is.
Is that true with all newspapers, or just
almost
because you
every
have interesting
newspaper.
people dying in Boothbay?
Well, no, I think every.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I would think the court news.
Probably that's close second, but
Because everybody wants to know bad news. They don't want to,
Even the online versions, the obituary page gets
the
lot of
majority
views.
of them. Huh?
Yep.
So if I want to put an ad in the paper, I want to put it on the obituary.
I have some customers that specifically asked to be on the obituary page.
That's too funny.
It's kind of morbid, but
when Bobby comes back next week, I learned something right now. The most popular page in the paper is to be on the obituary page, which I have no desire to be on.
Right, it's popular and then it's sad at the same time.
Yeah,
you have
it is.
People like Laura, who she was so active in town.
Did you know her?
Yeah, she was a great lady. She just was involved in everything. If you just read the huge paragraph about her awards, it tells you what kind of lady she was.
Yeah, pretty accomplished.
Yeah, she was
All
great.
right, we got to get on. We got to get through this paper. We've only got 27 minutes, and we're down to about 8 left here.
Okay, all right.
So we like to warn the folks at home how much time they got to put up with us. So
I'm sorry, those of you
you got
at
a
home.
regatta down there, not a regatta, but a rogatta.
7 miles is a long way when
Damn
you're
straight
in a
it is. Where they
kayak,
rowing? Halfway to
just so that you
Manhegan?
know.
That's halfway to Manhegan, for God's
Well,
sake.
it's out around the whole. I think they go out around
They go around
New-
Fisherman's?
New Wagon, right? Is that?
I don't know.
I should know that,
It
but-
didn't say. I didn't remember where it said.
Barda's Island. They go out around Barda's Island, and 7 miles is a long time in a kayak.
Yeah, I would think so. It's a lot longer than I want to be in
Yeah.
line. So I guess
Did you sign up for the
I did not. I don't sign
Westport
up.
Island 10K?
No, I don't sign up for those things.
got
I
2
got
weeks.
bad foot, and I don't want to do that. My foot says no. The rest of me says no too. So
Run around Westport Island.
yeah, Puppet Pals are going to come back to the library, huh?
Yeah.
We
I
went-
think that's fun. I love watching the little
There's
kids
always
sit out
something
on the
going
lawn.
on the library lawn down there. I think
There
that's a
is.
cool,
It
cool
is.
thing. When we were down filming in June, it was kind of a rainy, miserable day, but there were still people out, and there was somebody giving a lecture down there. So that was pretty cool.
Andrew and I went for a walk downtown, a while back, and there were a bunch of little kids sitting out with popcorn watching a movie.
That was on an on week when he was home?
That was on non-week, yep, when we spend our 1 week together.
All right, so I do have my new favorite columnist to read is Joe's Journal.
Joe's Journal.
I chuckled last week and when he was talking about being part of the older generation of like Biden and all the rest of them that have McConnell that fell down. He joined that ranks, and so I was interested in reading about the indictment, which I really he's got a neat take on stuff.
He does. Joe is his own person for
He really
sure.
is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is. I would like to.
He might need his own show.
Yeah, that would be somebody I'd be interested in sitting down and talking to, because I do this thing called Talking Town Talk, and I have a lot of fun with people like that.
Yeah.
Just-
Oh no, he'd love
Yeah.
it. He'd absolutely love it.
yeah, and land art, Robert Mitchell. You know this guy?
I don't know he looks so familiar to me.
Well, I looked at him. I said, I've seen that guy somewhere,
Me
but
too.
I don't know where.
I've looked 15 times and thought, why do I know him?
Yeah. From Acadia to
Maybe I
Zan.
do, but
Took him 10 years, Bruce, over 35 years of work. That's a long time.
yeah, no.
10 and 35.
See, there's your blueberries you were talking
Yeah,
about.
Quiet Harbors, roadside blueberries, and
blueberries.
memorial birds. I started that article, and I'm going to finish that tonight with my adult beverage as I sit down and ponder on the day's events with Miss Sarah from Wuzzup and say, that was kind of a different show, but that's all right. What else we got inside here?
A&E on I got to find the actual day. I'm going to go on August 18th to the Harbor Theater, and I'm going to sit outside because Barbie is playing. I don't know if you've been watching all the reviews, but little girls, adults, and dads alike are showing up to the Barbie movie, decked out in pink with tutus and tiaras. So I'm going to just go sit and take pictures.
Are you going to wear your tiara and your tutu?
I'm just going to sit and take pictures.
Oh, you're not going to wear a tutu and a tiara? No.
No.
So here's the trivia. So what year did Barbie come out in?
Oh, my.
I know the answer to this.
You do?
I do.
1946.
58.
That was close.
Or 59, I'm not sure. I can't remember. My memory is so bad. It was either 58. And how much did the first one sell for?
$1.
Close, $99. $1.99. At least that was according to something I saw on TV here 2 weeks ago. So I can't remember exactly what date was or what the money was, but I'm pretty close.
I wish I had
And that's
every
all you have to be is
Barbie I
pretty
ever
close
had
nowadays.
back, because I see they're online, and if you had it in the box, they're worth thousands.
Oh yeah. How many did you have?
A lot, but I was not good to them. They didn't stay in the box. I
know?
cut their hair, and yeah, they didn't.
You didn't realize what an investment that was.
No.
It probably would pay off better than General Electric stock would.
Better than the Beanie Babies that I still have that are worth nothing now.
Shoot. So, I give the people at the Habit Theater, I've never been in that theater, but they're always really good about advertising what they're doing and promoting themselves and whatnot. And I guess probably it's a pretty active theater, but there's a lot of,
It's really nice. We've got small theaters still.
Yeah.
We Harbor Theater and Lincoln Theater.
And kudos to the Opera House down there, back-to-back sold-out
Opera House.
shows.
We drove by, and there were people lined up all the way over at Good and New and across the road, and
Yeah.
it was
What else we got going on here? Oh, we got Lincoln
Speaking
Theater.
of Good and New, that was one of the ones of the letter to the editor I thought was kind of nice. Somebody wrote a letter to the editor about how nice it was that they were able to pull in and get their gas pumped for them. It'd been 15 years since somebody had pumped their gas for them.
I
I don't know where I can't remember where it said she was from.
Is it a mobile station right there in town?
Mobile, yeah, right by the right across from our office.
Yeah.
There's a mobile station.
Yeah.
They pump
It's
it
like
for
Hope and
you.
Gale downtown. They pump your gas for
Yep.
you. Yeah.
And
it's
this
pretty
woman
cool
was
stuff.
very thankful. She said she didn't have it.
I did see in the editorials a thanks from Gabe Tonin, who's headed back to Nashville with his band and whatnot.
Yep.
And I didn't get down to the Opera House to see that, so I try to stay pretty local in the summertime because you can get run over. There's so many. I mean, the forays I've made to Booth Bay just this summer have been life-threatening with the traffic on the road. It's just crazy.
It's like the Wild West.
I want to
That's
stay
how
in my
I
car. I
describe
don't want to get out of the car because if you do something, you'll run your damn backside over.
They beep at each other and they,
oh my God!
they flip
but we
each
did,
other off.
When we were down there a couple of weeks ago and talking to you, we came out of your building and these two ladies from New Orleans wanted to know where they could go besides Booth Bay to find something. I said, "You've seen it all in Booth Bay? Well, we're coming back when the rain stops." And I said, "See you next year." So
true.
But we sent them up to I don't know, the Shuck Shack or King Ida's for oysters. I can't remember what day it was. So. You still have a few houses to sell down there.
Lots of stuff for sale still.
Yeah, and one thing Bobby and I commented on last week is the crossword puzzle, the jumble page, and all that's good stuff. Do you put this together?
I don't. Steve Edwards does in our office, and
very well
I
done.
can tell you if there is something wrong on the crossword puzzle page, or if the answers are from last week, or something is wrong, we hear about it.
Yep.
You don't think people use that page? They do.
Oh, they sure do. Yeah.
How about the whale photo?
You like that, huh?
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty cool pho.
We love it when people send us photos like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool photo. It's just, how do you happen to have your camera just right when the whale is breaching like that?
No, it takes a...
If you haven't got a job, you don't want one because Booth Bay's got help wanted ad out there. Actions for Animals is going to hold a 5th annual fundraiser. Free stuff from kids from McDonald's.
Yep, kids need to wear their life jacket because if the Coast Guard pulls up and you got a life jacket on, you can get a free...
You have to have a life jacket if you're on a paddleboard too.
Really?
Yep. Found out. People from Whear found that out down the campgrounds when the Coast Guard, not the Coast Guard, the Maine warden pulled up, started writing tickets.
I'd need one to stop me from when I fell and hit it.
That woman was beside herself and indignant. He gave me a ticket. Well, put your life jacket on. Yeah. So we've just about covered it. The accident down on 27. And did I not promise you this would be? Have you had fun?
I've had a ball.
So I promise you it'd be the quickest 27 minutes that you can remember since, I don't know, childbirth, I don't know, whatever you want to pick a time.
Let's not go with childbirth, because that was not fun.
So, folks, I want to thank my special guest, Sarah Morley, up from the Booth Bay Register for sitting in for Mr. Bobby this week. Hopefully he'll be back, good Lord willing, next week, and so will we.
Good Lord willing.
Thanks again to Sarah and the gang of Booth Bay Register for letting us pick fun at him and have a little bit of fun. I'm Larry Sidelinger, Sarah Morley, Dinah Dave behind the counter, and yes, we have TV Toby here. He's about ready to sign off. See you next time, folks. Chase Tree and Tractor Service with 25 years of experience in tree removal. Serving the Midcoast of Maine, licensed and insured Maine arborist. Whether it's a pesky blowdown or a hard-to-get tree that needs removal. When you need an experienced professional, Jake Chase is the man for the job. Call 207-242-8961 or email him at chasetreeandtractorservice.jc@gmail.com.
LCTV is your nonprofit community media station. Please donate at lctv.org to keep us strong. Thank you.